gonna get my sticks. The mic is live and clear for you and all to hear. Knock 'em dead. Knock 'em dead. Comedy show.
Hello, everyone. So here I am. So here's the thing. It's Monday morning. Eric isn't here. Tony isn't here. All for good reasons. I'm not even going to make fun of them. Eric is on a movie set with lines, I believe, which would be really cool for him. And so that's where he is today. We knew that he wouldn't be in. I think we even told you guys Friday. And then we had, me and Tony did White Post Farm, which was really fun. And it was the first weekend for White Post. But then Tony, last night, he went to sleep. And, y'all know he's a amputee. He gets stump pain every once in a while. Like, it's like nerve pain. It's really bad. It doesn't happen bad all the time at all. It's really kind of rare that it happens, maybe even like once a year, but he'd have to talk more about it because I don't really know how often it happens. It's not that often, but when it does, he can't sleep. It feels like he's getting stabbed with a knife is the best way that he can describe it, and it comes out of like nowhere. Like he'll be asleep and then bam, big stab feeling in his stump. So it's really hard on him. So he, I don't even know that he knows where we're live right now at 6:30. So here's it's difficult because like nothing really works. And so all night long I was like Googling what could help, and nothing really helps. You think, heat, eyes, and he's just trying to sleep. So I'm annoying the fuck out of him, just trying to get him so that he could actually fall asleep for good. And around 6, the last time that he had it was like a year ago. And I remember Googling it then because I'm a big nerd. And they suggest doing something. It's called it's called a TENS unit, TENS. And it kind of looks like this, like a white remote control. And believe it or not, they're electrodes, and these electrode things you put wherever you want on your back or whatever you need help with nerve. So I put like one patch that's sticky stuff that you would use for checking your heart or something, and so I put like them all over a stump, and then so I'm like raising the level, and it feels like you're slightly getting a little electrocuted. And he was saying that he didn't know if it helped. He said it probably isn't helping. You could actually see the muscle of his leg, contracting back and forth and twitching all over the place. And it doesn't hurt you, but I don't know. It's funny, but he said that he wasn't sure if it helped, but that was at like 6 a.m. and then 6:30 he was snoring away. So I'm just hoping that this contraption I got a year ago that I've never used on him before worked, and he is sleeping right now. Because I was gonna just, I don't know, I wasn't sure if I should wake him up, so I was just like, I just want you to sleep, don't do the show, Eric's not going to be there anyway, just sleep. And he said something about it, well, let me think about it, but then he just completely fell asleep, and I left to do the breakfast show here, and I hope he's just sleeping. But anyway, I wanted to catch you up. Like, if you want to wish him well or something, wait till tonight when he's awake, because my hopes and dreams is that he just sleeps the entire day away and feels better, because it's an awful thing. Like, can you even imagine you're asleep, and then you feel like someone stabbed you with a knife? And there's no reason for it other than, when they took his leg off, the nerve pathway from his stump to his brain gets weird sometimes. So, and then you fall asleep and you think you're just going to be able to sleep the rest of the night, and bam, stab in the leg again. So it's really nerve-wracking. You can't relax enough to fall asleep, and then when you finally do, you get stabbed again. So the poor guy, really, really rough night. So anyway, wish him well later. Oh, look at Eric. I'm so proud of Sally. She's finally doing her own show. Yeah, I wasn't planning on hanging around. I just figured I'd like tell you guys, what was happening. Because I figured Tony's usually the one who will go online and say, oh, thanks for your support, but the show's canceled today for, whatever reason, whether it's something in the studio or, I don't know, a snowstorm or whatever reason that we're not here. And I was thinking it would literally take me, I don't know, longer to go do that and figure out the wording and try to get it right than it would just to like pop on and say, this is where we are today. So Ken Pichelle, okay, sorry, I typed peaceful day for Sally before I mentioned the phantom pains. So that, yeah, no, it's fine. In fact, yeah, don't feel ever weird about teasing anything with Tony. He, I think that's why Tony and Eric are such close friends, because they're just really comfortable with each other and nothing really bothers either one of them. And so, anyway, hi, Captain Jack. Aren't you in town this week? Come and see this week sometime. Who else is writing in? Felix said, good morning, Sally. Hi, Felix. Jeff Bosey. Yep, it's the Sally Show. All right. Yeah, you know what? Courtney is supposed to be here on Monday, but I didn't know whether we were just going to cancel it. And I didn't want to make her, come all the way in for nothing. So I just said, hey, sleep in. Plus, Courtney's having, a hard time with her. She's got a dog that she rescued a long time ago, and it's an older dog, and so her and her family are having, some difficulty and decisions that need to be made. And, hopefully they find peace with their little dog, because it's really rough when you go through that. You love a dog so much, and, they get older. And so she's kind of having a rough weekend anyway, so it kind of worked out. Danielle said she would have come and helped me. Yeah, we were going to actually have Steve Belanger on as well, who does he's the football show guy. And then he ended up having something to do anyway. So it's fine. It's a good day to take off. Eric said he'll stab him with his fist in his face. Yeah, Eric, you are in a movie set. You are famous. So, yeah, so that's the thing. So we'll fill you in on our weekend, coming up. Tomorrow. The thing about Tony and his stump pain is it comes out of nowhere and it ends out of nowhere. Like it literally could not be happening right now, or it could. So I think he's seen it last, not as long as a day, but it probably feels like a week. But he hopefully right now it's done, and he's just gonna sleep it out. So tomorrow won't be a problem. We'll be back, and Eric will be back, and everything will be fine tomorrow. No way. Are you kidding me? Will you freaking sleep? So Tony, don't stop. I'll be there by noon. Really? Just sleep. Do not put on that prosthetic income here. Do you want to call in and tell me what's going on? Because I'm going to be really upset if you're just no, the show must go on, and you're exhausted and not feeling great. It's not, everyone can get a day off, Tony. Everyone can take a day off. Even you. Yeah, unless you woke up and you're perfectly fine, but at the same time you're still going to be tired because you haven't slept. I went to sleep at 10:30 because I'm 90 years old. But here's the thing, I used to go to bed at 8:39 when the kids were little. So 10:30, I feel it's wow, the really long day. And Tony's a night owl, so I don't even know when he came to sleep. Normally he goes to sleep with me, just because, woohoo. But, we went to sleep at different times last night, so I don't even know when he went to sleep. He could have gone to sleep at midnight and then got no sleep whatsoever. An hour of sleep from 6:30 till now. really, Ken, you want me to hang? No, and I'm not being like, oh, poor me, but like seriously, like, yeah, it's only going to get worse from here. Like, the first 13 minutes were awful. So it really, like, that's the best it's going to be, and it's only going to get worse from here on out. Yeah, Eric will be back tomorrow. A lot of people watching. That's really nice. Yeah, that's it. Like Ken said, Tony, just stay home, and we'll all take turns calling. Yeah, that's like a good idea. Yeah, and I didn't want to make Courtney come in here because I figured, what's the point? It's like one day, and all right, I'll hang until Tony calls and says that I can go home. Gina's watching. All right, I'll tell you guys about like White Post. White Post was fun. I never even heard of White Post Farm. And then last year, Tony got a call to be the guy who, when everyone walks into the park, he's like, hey, give me a yee-haw. And he like holds the microphone out and he welcomes people and tells people like where everything is. But it's really cool because he does like a lot of things. Like when kids get lost, they're all like, bring him to Farmer Willie, which is Tony's name. So he's stuck there with toddlers, sometimes waiting for like, parents to come get their kids. And it's a good gig. He really enjoys it and he's really good at it. People, they love coming into the park and seeing them. They actually make it a point to walk past him on the way out. And you could tell, like, they'll slow down if he's talking to someone else just so that, Tony can talk to them as well. It's cute, Like, I don't even know that he notices things like that, But people just get a kick out of him and really enjoy watching him do his thing. But there's pumpkin patches and there's a lot of animals. There's 2 giraffes, a whole thing of birds where you go into this area, like probably, I don't know, probably the size of like a strip mall store where it's, there's 1,000 different birds and they're all flying all over the freaking place. And they'll give you like a stick with, sweet goo on it. And you just like stand there with the stick and birds fly all over you and sit on you. And I'm sure people get pooped on left and right. But my sister Cindy actually used to work in the bird area last year, and because she works as a veterinary assistant, so she's really good at that stuff. And the stories that she would tell with these like kids and birds, but it really was a fun experience. And then we have our son Zach's working there this year. Our son Kevin's working there. Me and Kevin do kettle corn and make all the kettle corn for the place. And yesterday, Bonnie came by with her son Brandon and spent the entire day there. And we saw them several times, and that was really fun. And, the one thing about Bonnie is she's probably not even watching now, but she's so supportive of everything that anyone does. It almost like makes me tear up sometimes because, we make a lot of fun of Bonnie, but we love her. And you'll have we'll have a murder mystery show and, oh, please come out for it. We'll look over in the corner. There's Bonnie. Like, really, you never get out. You never get to go do like all the fun things you want to do. And you took the time to go to our show. She's just someone who always thinks that way, and I like that about her. She's a good egg. All right, let me read. Jeff Bosey said, let's see, where was I? Wow, Joey Cola's watching. See, Joey, this is like self-esteem for anyone who's ever had a show, because everyone's going to feel really great about themselves right now. I miss seeing you. Yeah, so Joey, to catch up, Tony had like stump pain last night, which never happens. Happens like, once a year, where it's, bad. And even then he's still coming in right now. But I was just hoping that he would just sleep the rest of the day because he was up all night long with it. But I guess everyone has their thing. There are people that have like allergies and they're sick. They get the flu, they get this and that. Like, it's just like once a year for, Tony will have stump pain. So, but it's really bad. I feel bad for him. So yeah, I was just going to come on and say, hey, and explain what was going on, but Tony said to stay. He'll be here at noon, but I asked him to call in so that I could talk him out of this, and just to go home and sleep. This is the weird phone line. You know, like we have 2 phone lines, and one is always like Google. Okay, good. It's ended. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that was Tony or someone. If you want to call in, that would be fine. But yeah, so White Post was fine and fun, and we did that like all weekend long. And okay, here comes a call. All right, here we go. Ready? Do 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 do. Welcome. You're on the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show. How may I help you?
Hey, am I the first caller on the Sally Show?
Derek, yay!
I'm the first caller on the from Sally Show. This is amazing.
You're the first caller ever on the Sally Show.
See, it's very important to be first, and I am glad that I am first.
You know, I was actually thinking about you yesterday. Have you ever done your balloon things at White Post?
No.
You should ask them because they've got like several shows going on, and you would really rock it, and they pay really well. You might like look into that for like the summer gig. It's like six weekends in October, end of September, October.
Well, I know that, and in times past, people have contacted me who are having birthday parties at White Post.
Yes,
and I'm not allowed to come and be an entertainer at White Post for another party. So I know everyone who works at White Post works through White Post.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you mean? You do the parties there, but you can't like work out at the festival?
I couldn't do a party at White Post Farms. If you have to contact someone who's contracted through White Post.
Yeah, but the parties, like the birthday parties, because I see the kids coming out all the time during the festival from the birthday parties. That's different from standing on the grass fields on a plank making balloons all day long. You can't do that either?
That is true. I don't know. I never inquired because it's difficult for me to do 6 weekends because I'm usually booked somewhere else. At least
and it's Saturday, Sunday, and it's like from like 10 to 6 you have to stay there.
Right.
Yeah, you should see our calendars. We have the calendar like all like black, like blocked off. Like don't ask us to do anything during those weekends because it's just crazy. Yeah, not everyone can give up their 6 weekends fully for 6 weeks. So yeah, I get it.
Well, when October rolls around, I mean, so right now on my schedule, I'm already booked on 3 of the 4 Saturdays of September and 2 of the Sundays.
Right. Well, good for you. I mean, that's great. I was just, it's one of those things that you walk by something, you see someone doing some type of show, and I'll think of you, and I'm like, oh, Derek would have rocked this. So
I appreciate that.
That's why I was like thinking about it, not trying to.
Oh, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem. Thank you. But okay, so Tony's not feeling well today?
Say that again.
You said Tony's not feeling well today?
Yeah, he had stump pain last night. I think it's over now. Like it comes out of nowhere, it ends out of nowhere, and it doesn't happen. I mean, he's been an amputee for, I don't know, 10 years. He's probably going to be like, you don't know how long. But I'm not.
Oh, sure. No,
12 years,
nurse pain
maybe?
is weird
I can't
stuff.
remember. But because I met him after all of that. So, but yeah, so it really doesn't happen much at all. But when it does, it's bad.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and bad. But I don't think last night was bad. But like he's told, I think last year he had a night where he actually couldn't not scream. And he said that was the worst that it's ever been. It usually isn't like that at all. It's just one of those things that you're trying to sleep and all of a sudden you feel like a stab,
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of what last night was like. It's just frustrating. You're so exhausted. You think it's over and then it isn't. And there really isn't. It's nerve pain. So it's not like you could take, an Advil or something. It doesn't really go away.
No, it's true. I understand that completely.
Yeah.
So, I had a paper cut once, and I'm kidding. I don't want to hold your phone. I'm sure more people want to call into the Sally Show, but I just want to be the first one to call in. So congratulations on your new show.
Thank you.
All the best.
That
And-
like, I can't believe this. I'm like, all right, everyone. So we'll see you tomorrow. And then all of a sudden I see Tony write in, "Don't leave. I'll be there by noon." I'm like, like really, of all people, like, can't he just have one day where he just,
Okay, wait. You're talking about Tony, right? You realize as you speak that this is not possible. The fact, he'd reel himself in a hospital bed if he had to.
Yeah, I know. He's a good one that way. Yeah, and that's why, I feel bad for him. He's awesome. Eric said it's the Silly Sally show.
Sorry, Silly Sally show.
Andy said, somebody get Dennis Murphy to the studio. Actually, Dennis called in today, and I haven't, at the earlier show, I haven't talked to him for a long time. Dennis has a friend who passed a few years ago who he was very close to. It might be a cousin. I'm not sure who it was, but he usually has like a bad few days when it's the anniversary. So we haven't heard him call in for a while, and I think that's why. So hopefully he's more back to himself. Kevin Mocker wants to know, can you swear on air? If so, I'll tell a dirty joke. If not, I'll tell a clean joke that sounds dirty. No, you can swear on air. It's fine.
The only person who can't swear on air is me. So that's how that works.
Yes, because you have a reputation of the non-swear guy.
So, yeah. So you go ahead and get your next phone call, and we'll see if Tony comes in.
Right. Thanks for helping me out.
Hey, my pleasure, Sal.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
That was Derek. Derek, the balloon enthusiast. Joan Asher's watching, Danielle's mommy. Got a call. Yay, thanks, guys. You are on the air.
Oh my God, I am very happy to be talking to the beautiful Sally. Very good.
Hey, how are you?
I am doing great. I am so sorry to hear about Mr. Tony Walker, but I am so glad that fat roly-poly Eric Guest's name is not in there today.
The famous movie star?
Or yeah, I don't know what kind of movie. Maybe it's a short film about fat people eating Haagen-Dazs. I do not know. I have no clue. I am very happy that you are there and you're rocking the radio show and you're doing such a great job. I always love looking at the very beautiful Sally O'Neill. Very, very pretty woman.
I feel goofy. Thank you. That's really nice of you.
You're not goofy. That other person
goofy.
is very goofy. No, you're not. And I'm glad that you're holding it down. You're holding it like a rock star. You're very, very, very beautiful, very sexy, very talented.
Thank you. Wow. That was a good time to come in. Thank you. You made it better.
Listen, I am trying to listen, and I go ahead and I am praying with my little snake over here that Tony feels better, and then I would say, I hope that he feels much better and he comes in smelling all nice and fresh and clean.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I hope he's all right. Yeah, he worked so hard over the weekend. Oh my goodness, you have to stand in farmer pants and flannel shirts, and it was boiling out, and he was sweating all over the place. Yeah.
It was like 82, 83, it was very hot this whole weekend, and I am very, very impressed that he is out there doing his thing over at the Pipo Farm.
Yes. Yeah, and same temperatures next weekend too, so look.
Oh my God,
I
do not even believe it. Oh no.
Oh
listen,
no.
you have a very good, are you making fun of me, Miss Sally Walker?
No.
Okay. Or Sally O'Neill. I cannot remember the name so good.
Either
but
works
listen,
for me.
You have a great show. You keep on rocking and rolling, and you keep holding down the fort.
Thanks for calling in.
Love you. Bye now.
Bye. That was funny. All right. Who's next to save me? All right. So Eric said he'll be back as soon as he can. I think he said he has to charge his phone. Roly-poly Eric. Poor Eric. Oh yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, so we did. We saw the Anthony Rodia show. Me and Tony went Saturday night, and it was so funny. He's so good at what he does. He's just a pleasure to watch. He's hilarious. He does, a lot of things about his dad coming from Italy, and it's funny because like I've actually heard his dad on the phone a bunch of times, and when you find out how long he's been in this country and how little his accent has changed over 1,000 years, it just it's really, really funny. And it's interesting to watch his stand-up because Anthony is one of those guys that he just doesn't do the same stuff over and over again. Like, he does radio show here on Tuesday nights, and he'll do crank calls, or his dad will call in, and plus his normal, chit-chat. And it's interesting to see his stand-up because a lot of the things that he used at the stand-up are the things that just happened over like the last few weeks. He's like constantly thinking, and it's I don't know. He just has a great brain for it. So I'm really happy for him that it's becoming this good thing for him, his career. Because I think he wanted to do stand-up for a while ago, and then he left for a while for a regular old job, and now he's back to it, and now he's just amazing. Okay. Oh, another call. Thank you, whoever you are, amazing person saving me. You are on the air.
Hey, Sally, it's Gina.
Hey, Gina. How are you?
I'm good. You're doing great.
Thanks. I mean, I actually wasn't even going to be putting up the sponsor things. No offense, but I just figured I'd be out of here, lickety split in like 3 minutes. And then I'm like, I'll just put them up just so people can see it.
Don't worry about it.
And now
Listen,
I'm like,
I got really nothing to say other than unless you want to hear about another missed opportunity for me. Jack had the screening for his new TV show that's airing in October called Almost Family.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to go. I want to go. Do I want to go? All right, I'm going to go. So I get myself dressed. I get in the car. I get on the road.
Broke your leg, or you cut your arm off, or you got pneumonia between the 135 and the Wantagh Parkway.
That was it. My arm fell off. That's what happened.
That would be the only thing that would make sense for you this year.
So I'm like, the traffic was so horrible. I called him. I said, I'm not going. And I kind of felt like it was a weird screening. It was going to be right after they were done working, so I didn't know when they were going to be done working, and I might have to sit there and wait. And then there was like an after party. So I said to him, you know what, you do it and have fun. Let me know how it goes when you get back. And he calls me. He comes home, and he's like, oh, my God, it was like the best screening. It was at this bowling alley, and everybody bowled, and all the stars stuck around, and Chris Rock showed up.
Oh, really? Where was it? Was it like the Brooklyn Bowl or something?
No, they to save money, they decided because they were filming at a bowling alley. And it wasn't the Brooklyn Bowl. Otherwise, I probably would have gone.
Yeah, it's a great place.
It was at another bowling alley in Astoria, and they ended up filming there that day. So they rented out the whole place for the day, and then just set up the screen and said, "Okay, private screening for the first show before it airs." And they had a whole little party and catering and all of that. So
why Chris Rock? Why would he show up? Because it's not a comedy. Did he know someone that he wanted to see, or he had this urge to bowl?
This is how little you talk when you're married 30 years and your husband works like 18 hours a day. Chris Rock is dating one of the stars.
Oh, all right, that's cool. All right, that's great. I just couldn't figure out why he would. I could see him showing up on a some place that was doing like a movie that was about stand-up or something, but
that's what I said to him. I go, well, why was Chris Rock there? Like, well, what's his connection to this? What, did he just really, really want to go bowling that night for free? And Timothy Hutton is one of the other stars, so he stuck around.
Oh, but, nice. Yeah, well, yeah. So when's it come out? In the fall?
I think October 5th on Fox.
Okay. And the show is about, it's on Fox. The show is about, and, let me know if I'm off, but it's, I'm not going to get that. It's about a gynecologist who helps people, with in vitro and having babies, and then it comes out that often he used his own sperm. And it's played by Timothy Hutton, and they realize that like years after. And I think who's the daughter? Who's his main daughter?
Oh gosh, you're gonna make me look it up on IMDb.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But she's like, I think she's like an only child, and all of a sudden she's like, oh my God, my dad did this awful thing because everyone's, as you might imagine, a little pissed about it. And but then I think the realization that, wow, you know what? It's like the name of the show is like Almost Family. But what it is she comes across like siblings, like legal siblings that they needed a sister too. Or, and so because this happened, now all of a sudden she has a lot of family. And so I think that's kind of what the show is about. If I got any of that wrong, please tell me.
Yes, it's. I think it's loosely based on a true story.
I know it must be because I remember watching. I remember watching when this one gynecologist. It was probably 30 years ago, to be honest with you. It was or 20 years ago. It was that long ago, and they started realizing because the gynecologist had that bright orange hair, and all these babies are being born with this bright orange hair, and they're where is this coming from? But I remember on the news that this, I don't know if it's based on the same case, maybe it's been done other times with other gynecologists, but
that's all I know is that that's the kind of basis of the story, and then somehow it comes out, but back then it was now it's kind of, I think, more current, but back the children are all adults. Back in the day, it was mostly doctors who donated their sperm. So this guy ended up using his sperm for everybody. And yeah, because I actually have a friend who did that DNA testing, gave it to everybody in their family for Christmas one year, and her husband's family. And when the husband's family took it, she has her husband and he has two siblings. Him and his two siblings came out that they had different fathers and never knew it. And they're in their 50s.
Yeah.
And when they approached the father, and the father said, "Yeah, we used a sperm donor," and every one of their parents are doctors.
Yeah, that's
back
wild.
in the day. I guess that's what they did. But the stars of the show are Tamara Tooney, Brittany Snow, Timothy Hutton, and Emily Osmond. I think Timothy Hutton is the only big name in it. But Tim.
Yeah,
Tim is now my husband's close friend now.
That's great. I always really liked him. I always thought he was a great actor. So, I hope they use him a lot. I hope they just don't use him as the token great actor that is on for 5 minutes a show. I hope they use him a lot because I really think he's great.
And to be honest with you, when he took this show, I was kind of and what is the longevity of this show?
Yeah,
because
sure,
I don't understand where it's going, and the whole thing is doesn't sound like something I would want to watch. And he agreed with me. But now, after doing a few episodes, he's this is going to be a good show. This is going to be a really good show. And he never talks like that.
Good. Yeah, so that's great. I mean, I'm that's the way I am a lot, at Gov's Radio. I'm behind the scenes a lot. And, I see, the beginning shows of people and how, they develop over time and their comfort, with it. And, it's nice to, watch from behind the scenes. I'm sure Jack has the same, thing while he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. And Timothy Hutton invited us to come we got this new boat, to bring it into Manhattan, to some marina in Manhattan that he's involved with, to hang out with him one day. And I'm kind of okay.
Well, that's better. That's better than an after-show party, so good for you.
Yeah, but it's kind of nerve-wracking. Even though I've been part of this for so many years, it gets a little nerve-wracking because, what do you wear? What do you talk about?
Who cares?
Where do we go? So,
all right, Gina, I'm going to get off because people wanting to call in, which is really cool.
Oh, good. All right, well, you're doing an awesome job, and love you.
Love you, too. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Gina and Jimmy Coffin with, let's see, I could do it early. And I'll wait to do the noon thing. But Gina and Jimmy Coffin with Signature Premier Properties. All right. So we have, let's see. Joan said, feel better, Tony. The nerve pain sucks, but the 10s unit should help. Just don't turn it up too high. Joan, I had it turned up to 10. And I think that's what really helped it. But I put it on me first, and I did it on 10. It doesn't hurt. Hello, you are on the air.
Bonjour. Is this Sally?
Yes, oui.
Hey, Sally, how are you? I'm sorry, I'm calling in. I know we've never spoken before. Hey, I'm Tony Stump.
Is this Derek?
No. This is Tony Stump for real. Very happy to be talking to you finally. I'm very sorry. I apologize. I know I'm big pain a lot of times.
That's funny. Yeah, well, hopefully I electrocuted you well enough this morning that you are feeling better. Yeah,
Hey,
so
listen,
someone wrote
Sally,
in
I'm
saying...
into-
Go ahead, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm into it. I love the electrocution. I get it. I love it.
Yeah, so with this TENS unit that I put on him, so you put like the electrodes and like the muscles are moving all over the place. And you raise it from like 1 to 10.
Yeah,
And
I'm into it.
it's kind of like bizarre because you feel like the muscles being squished from, one end of where it attaches to the other and just like really, it's amazing. You see like the whole muscle being pulled and
This is what I'm
released.
saying. I love this, Sally. This is what I'm
Yes.
telling you. I want more of this. But I'm very sorry because you by yourself.
Oh, it's all right. I'm okay. But thanks.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Thank you for
All right.
calling.
Hey, no problem. Anytime, right?
Right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Au revoir.
That was cute. So yeah, so I turned the TENS unit like all the way up to 10. And I think that's when it started feeling just like a little bit better. And then you could put it on different buttons, like you could put it on kneading or massage or, where it's just like belting you. And so I tried all of them. And so I hope that he's probably going to come in and be like, yeah, it wasn't that at all, but thanks anyway. And here I'm thinking, I'm the hero. I made it all better. But I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool that like as soon as it was over, he fell asleep. So I just want something in the house that helps him because you read online like, oh, put all this stuff on it, do this, do that, and nothing works. And he's had this for, however many years, so he knows that nothing works. This is the first new experience that might work. So I'm just hoping. All right, let's see. Yeah, people have had lower back pain. It's different than muscle pain. Like, it's completely different than muscle pain, he said. Like, he's had, like, back pain, too. And it doesn't feel like muscle. It just feels like nerve. Like, you don't know why your nerve is hurting so bad. It comes out of nowhere. So, I think it's a little bit different. Danielle said that her mom is a nurse. Dina said Tony Stump has an accent. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on. So here I am. Eric is on a movie set, probably going to be a famous movie star after today, so we'll never see him again. And Tony says he didn't say he was on his way, so I don't know. Let me see if he he texted me. No, he didn't. That was someone else. Let me see. Oh, Tony's mom just texted me and said I'm doing a great job. I didn't want to do a job. I just wanted to say goodbye and explain. But all right. So I probably shouldn't have gotten Gina off the call or the line because, now no one's calling in. Someone call in. Or give me something to talk about. What do you want to talk about? Oh, good. Bonnie's watching. Bonnie, I said earlier how cool it was that you came in and, hung with us. And it's a big place. Like White Post is a really big place. And, her and Brandon walked down to see, the dog show, which is the whole other end. They went and they saw giraffes. They saw goats. And then they went on, I think Brandon went on one of the bouncy rides. And, then she came and, she ate a whole bunch of food. So it was a big, long day for her. So it was really nice of her to do all that. It was great seeing her. All right, we got another call. Let's see. This person I'm not going to let off the line because I'll be too scared. You are on the air forever.
Hey. Hey, Sally, it's Ken Pichelle.
Hey, Ken, how are you? I just said Ken Pichelle from North Carolina. Thank you for calling in. So Gina was on the line before, and other people were saying, oh, I'm calling in. So I let Gina go, and then no one called in, and I had nothing to talk about. So just before I answered your call, I said, this poor person, whoever's calling in right now, I'm never going to let them get off the phone because I'll be too scared.
Well, I'll stay. I mean, it's not going to help you because I'll stay here quietly once I'm not talking anymore, so that's no good. No, it's weird, though, because I'm watching, and I'm going, all right, how do I, normally we call in just whenever. Today, like, when we're trying to
help me out.
When we're trying to line up together, I'm like, well, crap, there's a lag. I don't know if I can get in now, but
yeah,
anyway,
there's always like a I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like about a minute and 15-second delay.
I think so. I think it varies. I think sometimes it may turn out to be even longer than that because sometimes I'm on my phone and on a computer, or I'm jumping in between them because I type on the computer because it's easier to throw comments in.
Right.
But I mean, sometimes they're 30 seconds off. I'm like, okay, wait, what's happening here?
Yeah, because it streams to. It never used to be that way. When we were just going live to Facebook, it was pretty instantaneous. And then once we started streaming to the website and YouTube, I think that's what added the delay. And it's kind of annoying because, like, you could have 17 different conversations in a minute and a half, So it, by time someone writes in about something, what they just heard, we're already doing something else. And then, sometimes we don't even know what someone's saying, but usually we do, but.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I'm trying to modify my comments to like put something on the front end of the comment so you know what the heck I'm referring back to.
That's why you're a top fan.
I mean, it's a rough crowd around here apparently with Facebook because, I mean, I don't know how you get a top fan +1, but I'm not there yet. Newsflash, though, friend of the show, Joe DeJesus, releasing a new single this week.
Is he really? Oh, Joe's watching right now. So
he is.
So Joe is releasing a new song?
He is, I think.
I have his first CD. It's beautiful. All right, so Joe DeJesus, he has a show. He's actually kind of like, right now he's on Monday night, and he's on every other Monday. And it's a jam show. And he comes in with a guitar, and he'll have musical guests, like, people that he either works with, in bands, or he's known for a long time, or he does a lot of Beatle groups, and he'll just have like, someone to interview that he thought would be an interesting interview. And it's a great show, because I engineer it, and a lot of people write in comments and share the show. Like it's a lovely show. And so he when I first met him, he gave me his CD, like a CD that he made a really long time ago. And he wrote this stuff. Like, Joe is, I don't even know how old Joe is. He's probably like, if I had to guess, I'd probably say like late 30s. I don't really know.
Yeah, I think he's late 30s. He might be pushing 40
early
or somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah.
But he has good genetics because he looks pretty good. So I think it's probably, like late 30s. But he writes beautifully, and he kind of reminds me of Eddie Vedder, and it's kind of the same kind of writing, but it's also similar in the sense that, like, when Eddie Vedder first, this, I don't know the name of the CD, you can help me out with that, but when Eddie Vedder
it's Instant Gratification, and it was 2004. I happen to have it in my hands right now, and
the Pearl Jam.
Oh, no, I thought you meant Joe's CD.
No, I'm talking about, like, Eddie Vedder. So Pearl Jam, the CD that came out that was just a monster, like, the most amazing songs, Eddie wrote, like, when he was a teenager, like, late teens. And it was just remarkable. Like, he'd gone through a lot. His parents were, divorced. It was a lot of, like, weird shit, like, he grew up knowing who his dad wasn't his dad. Like, he found out, like, after his real dad died, he just thought he was like a friend of the family, and he really cared for him a lot. And he finds out after he died that, by the way, yeah, that was your dad. I never told you. So he had like the weirdest life, but his writing was so great. And Joe kind of reminds me of that. Like, he wrote a lot of these songs as like a teenager, early 20s, and it's just so heartfelt. Like, when I was listening to the CD, I was thinking to myself, how does someone who's 17 years old, how do they write like this? There's no experience you could have in life, to write such beautiful songs.
I agree. I think it's very unique. I mean, I find myself in a place where, I get crazy excited about Jam. I love Jam. I really, really...
It's great, isn't it?
Jam's fantastic. I mean, I don't know how interested anybody else could be or would be, and we're not going to do this, but Sally, I could talk to you for hours about Jam. Just the variety of the guests and the experiences, and it's awesome. But I mean,
one week they'll be doing like Beatle music. They'll just be sitting here with guitars, like, coming up with great songs, and people call in and do requests. One week he did a 90s special, and he had a keyboardist over in the corner. He had a drummer sitting right in front of me because I was over there. He had
that one was epic.
Two guitar players. Joe was here. That's the first night that I met Danielle Asher. She came in and she was a singer. And they had asked for like requests throughout the weeks. What 90s song did you want? And these like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably 9 to 11 people are in here, working their asses off all night long.
That was amazing. I was driving. I was on about 3.5, 4-hour drive that night, and so my wife and I were just cruising down the road with that cranked up. It was awesome. That was such a great show. I mean, they're all great shows, but that one was really cool.
Yeah, and he gets really nice people in here, and they're just so talented, and it's just a pleasure to do that show. I feel like I come in and I'm just entertained, myself,
Oh, definitely. I could totally see that. And you always keep up your work. I mean, that's the kind of situation where, you could be there engineering and get caught up in what's happening. But I've never seen that happen. On the ball.
Thanks. I try. It's fun. So that's like one of the really good shows. So you guys should check that out. What was the name of the CD? You said, I don't remember it.
The CD is called Instant Gratification.
Is it the one with the little boy in the army outfit?
It is indeed.
Yeah, I love it. It's just beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, I love it. Oh, you know what? I can actually play it. Here's his original song. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. I can actually do this. Hold on for a second.
Okay, while we're on radio silence here, there it comes.
Yeah. So this is Joe's, the name of the song is original, but he wrote it. He wrote this.
Parenthetically, won't send you flowers.
Proposing on bended knee. And I don't want to celebrate on Valentine's, but I would crush the grapes to make you wine.
Love that lyric right there.
To watch sunset through your eyes. Or I could always write your name across the sky.
Are we supposed to talk over this?
No.
And play you yesterday on my guitar. Who you are. But I wanna be the one who matters everything to you when your whole world shatters. I wanna be original. I won't send you flowers. On the side of the Eiffel Tower, make love to you in the lightning shower. I wanna be original. I won't send you flowers. Oh, I could be a hero. Don't be afraid. from the average day. If you'd rather stay home and be with me, I just miss the way we used to be. 'Cause I wanna be the one who matters everything to you when your whole world shatters. I wanna be original, I won't send you flowers. On the side of the Eiffel Tower, make love to you in a lightning shower. That would be original, I won't send you flowers. No, 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 no. And there's no sign of me getting over you. It's been on my back too long, and there's no sign of me getting through to you. Look what I've become. Something else won't never see you for who you really are. They won't see you, no, they won't see you for who you are. Well, I wanna be the one who matters everything to you when your whole world shatters. I wanna be original, I won't send you flowers. On the side of the Eiffel Tower, make love to you in a lightning shower. Now that would be original. Won't send you flowers. You were always the better part of me. I wanna be original. Won't send you flowers. You were always the better part of me. I wanna be original, I won't send you flowers.
Sal, are you still there?
Yes.
Of course you are. You almost tricked me. Tony, I know Tony's sitting there now, I can see it. You almost got me to sing, because it is so hard for me to listen to that song and not sing along. I just think and love that song.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful song. So thank you, Joe, for writing it. It's really nice.
That
Anyway,
one, I don't know if I chimed in
Tony
over
Walker has walked
Oh,
into the
there.
studio.
Joe wrote that song for me. I don't know if anybody knows that. Bear with me. I'm downing a buttered roll. Hang on.
it. Oh my goodness! One I've got to point out one of the lyrics in that song that has just stuck with me from the first time I ever heard it. I would crush the grapes to make your wine. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
That lyric is epic.
Yeah, his writing
Absolutely
is just beautiful.
epic. It is. It's so. I mean, maybe my musical breadth isn't wide enough, but I just listened to the songs on that CD and thought, I've never heard anyone do something like this. Like hearing, there's a song, Joe, are you still there? I gotta say it since I'm on the phone. There was a song called Still Mine that I don't know why I love it so
that
much,
song
but
too.
that's my favorite song on that album.
Yeah,
and
you're absolutely
I
right.
love them all.
I love that song. I don't have that one in the studio, but I love that song. I mean, I guess.
And I mean, that just happens to be a favorite. There are so many of them. I can send you a SoundCloud link if you want to play it.
I don't think we did. Do you have the attachment?
No.
Yeah,
I didn't bring Tony's iPad.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're not fully loaded today for since we didn't. Since Sally wasn't planning on staying, and since I just kind of rushed out the door to get in, so. But we'll play it. Maybe we'll play it tomorrow. Or actually, Joe is overdue to come in. I mean, I know he has jam, but he still, from time to time comes in here, and he's overdue. I don't think he's been here since Elio was here.
Oh wait, really? Wow, you're right. Yeah, he
And
hasn't
that
at all.
was that was what, June? That was June. That's bad.
That's a long time.
Joe, any day this week that you're free, just pick a day, and we'll fit you in. Look, Hi, Ken.
Hey, Tony. Yeah, I'm just sitting here now. I'm actually seeing, in being in conversation with Sally here for quite a while now. I'm seeing how difficult it is to keep up with all the comments while you're trying to talk to somebody.
It is.
I am. Yeah, I'm totally amazed here. Courtney's not even here. I'm amazed that Sally just kept it all going here.
You told me to.
Well,
I
yeah,
was
guess
getting ready to beg. I knew there'd be no people that would call in and just chat. And it's like, no, we all have to stay together here.
That's
Danielle
right.
Asher is correct. Tony, Sally has done a great job holding it down without you.
Yeah, I listened to the first half hour. I listened to bits and pieces because I was just rushing around to get myself together here to come out. But yeah, it sounded great.
Yeah,
Sounded great. And thanks to everybody, for calling. Like Derek, I know Derek called in the comments because it was giving you the adrenaline and even the content to just keep going there.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
appreciate
So
that.
thanks, everyone. I really appreciate it. You smelt my fear.
But I'm surprised if you would have went the other way and told Courtney to come in, and then the two of you could have done the show together. Just tell her to sit down.
You know what it is too. I just figured, we don't really ever take days off, and Eric's not here, and so why can't we just have a day off? One day off. We're here 5 days a week, and so to have me and Courtney do it, I'm like, So it wouldn't be a good show, and nothing against Courtney. I just can't carry it, so. It just wouldn't be a good show. I'd rather just wait till tomorrow.
Well, I disagree. You carried it just fine for an hour.
I'm not looking for no, you could carry it. It's not good. So it's better to just being honest. I know the things that I'm really good at, and I know the things that I'm not.
Ken, tell her.
I'm not.
It was great. It was awesome. I mean, just it's a little different being one person there. Just carrying on conversation with all of us. I am so honored and privileged right now just to be speaking. I know it's a minute early because I'm seeing 11:58, but can I say that it's ad time?
You want to
Go ahead. You want to do
ads?
Go ahead, Ken.
Ken Pichelle on the Knock 'Em Dead Comedy Show ads. Dun, dun, dun. Go. Oh, he's got to look it up.
Bella Vista Pizza, 154 Minetto Hill Road in Plainview, 516-433-4464. That's 516-433-4464. Mention Knock 'Em Dead and get one free garlic knot.
Nice.
Gina Conjemi Coffin, licensed real estate agent with Signature Premier Properties, 631-495-7696. That's 631-495-7696. List your house with Gina, and she'll work so hard for you and sell your house so fast, it'll make your
head
spin. And of
awesome.
course, Knock 'Em Dead Comedy for the funniest murder mysteries in the whole world. Do you want to see a boring murder mystery where some crusty old pea pants says, "There's been a murder in the parking lot of
No,
some
I don't
character
want
you've
that.
never met"?
No.
But if you did, go see the other guys. If you want the full experience, you want to laugh, sing, dance, you want to go to a Knock 'Em Dead Comedy murder mystery show. Got anything really special coming up? Why, yes. Back to the 80s, Murder Mystery Halloween Bash, a special event Friday, October 25th, 2019 at 7:30 p.m. at Governor's Brokerage in Belmore, New York.
I love him so much.
That was impressive. That
Ken,
was very
thank
impressive.
you.
Ken, you got to make your way up here one day
Yeah.
and DJ. We'll do a one-time Ken Pichelle special. He
absolutely.
can play some songs and
Why not?
and do his DJ thing. I was really, although I'm a little worried that was a little stalkerish too that he knew it so well.
No, he fills in all the time with it. Anytime we're lagging or we're having a tissy fit or something's not going well, around noon, all of a sudden I'll look and I'll be this big long.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah,
so
I
thank
was
you.
reading off of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to say I have it memorized, but
No
I was
one would
reading
have it
off of that.
But you still had the personality, you had the energy. It was.
Did you say that you were from New York originally or just from
I
North
was-
Carolina?
I was waxing my inner Eric S. name there. I grew up in Stratford, Connecticut, right next to Bridgeport,
that's right,
which is
Connecticut.
right across. Bridgeport's where the Port Jeff Ferry
yes.
goes across.
Yeah, I know it well. I put my kids on that ferry to go over to Connecticut where their family is.
And then I went to college at RPI in Troy, outside of Albany. So I went to college with a lot of guys from the city, from the island, from Boston, from Buffalo,
Very nice.
Rochester, so from all over.
Nice.
So, yeah, so now I have I don't know. It cracked me up that Gina said I had a good voice. Like my voice and my accent, it's just lost somewhere. I mean, northern people look at me now and are like, "You don't sound like you're from here," and southern people look at me like, "Well, you don't sound like you're from here either." Nobody claims my accent anymore. It's lost in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, I go through that too because I grew up on Long Island when I left at 18, 19 to go upstate, which is a different accent. Then I moved to Colorado. And then I spent 15 years in California. And I feel like even though I haven't lived in California in, I don't know, 15 years, I still kind of sound like there's bits and pieces that stuck with me from there. So, because I think that was the longest time I lived really anywhere. So, I lived in Boston too, but I don't really have the Boston accent. I don't, do I? You think I do? Boston at all?
A little bit, not too much.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I think...
Good.
I was going to say, one thing that has cracked me up, especially talking when I first moved down south, talking to people, and I'll say, you got to understand that I have a non-Southern accent. Going to college where I said up around Albany, there were some guys from Pennsylvania. Connecticut and Pennsylvania are not really the strongest accents among Northerners. So, being up there, I really didn't feel like I had much of an accent. And again,
right.
I'm telling.
Did you say Albany?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I went to college. So yeah, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
So, I'm telling folks in the South about this, and I'm going, yeah. So, I mean, I don't really sound at all like I'm from Long Island or Boston. And I mean, you hear me say Long Island or Boston, and you hear this northern accent on that. But when I say Long Island, it doesn't sound like somebody from Long Island saying it. And then when I say Boston, it doesn't sound like somebody from Boston saying it either.
Right. You're a no man's land kind of talker.
Okay. All right. I have one accent story that I'll try to do really, really fast. This is when I was down in Birmingham in grad school, and a friend of a friend was a Southern girl with a Northern boyfriend. So she went to Chicago or something with him, and they were out to dinner, and she ordered iced tea. And a little back and forth with the waiter or waitress, and they're like, "And you wanted iced tea?" And she's like, "Yeah." So they brought this girl out Asti Spumante. So, I mean, obviously it was a fancy enough restaurant that it would have that.
Right.
But I was like, wow, that's pretty random.
Yeah, that is. That's funny.
That's great. All right.
Well, I need to hand off, I mean, at the risk of letting Kenny S. call in, I gotta hand. Oh my gosh, Eric Shevland is listening to me. This is great.
The shock jock himself.
I know, right? Let me pass it off, but let me drop a topic that I wanted to ask about. I was going to type about it, but I'll just say it. I'm excited to know, and Sally, this was in my mind for if we need more stuff to talk about, if Tony fell back asleep. I'm wondering what everybody's looking forward to starting back in the TV realm, because, it's all beginning to come back tonight. The fall
new
shows.
Fall season. Okay. All right.
And of course, I know we have the Masked Singer on our list to talk about at some point.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to say with the Masked Singer coming. I think this might be a topic that you wait for tomorrow when Eric's here. He watches a lot more TV than we do.
Yeah, we don't really watch that much TV.
Yeah, so I think this would be something good to wait for tomorrow. Although I wouldn't mind going back. So I didn't hear all of Gina's stuff about Almost Family. So, but yeah, Ken, we'll do that. We'll do that tomorrow with Eric.
That sounds fun.
Cool. All right, thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, y'all. I think that's only Gina. I think that's one. I don't know if you saw in the comments. I typed when I'm on the phone, you got to count y'alls and not dudes.
Yeah.
But I think that was the first one. So here's two. Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Y'all, thanks, y'all. Dr. Prichelle. Bye now.
Bye.
All right. So.
Yeah, we'll power watch things. We'll watch Breaking Bad or something all in a week or something. We'll do that.
Yeah.
But we don't it's Tuesday night. Now it's time to watch a show. We're bad about that.
Yeah, we are bad about that. Even the Masked Singer, we would just watch
I know.
everything here live
I
on
would
the
try
show.
to YouTube a little bit what Eric was talking about because, I thought it was an interesting show. I really liked it. I just, what it was for that show. Like we have rehearsal Wednesday night, so I wasn't gonna like come home from rehearsal and watch it.
I just thought it was fun too to have our reactions right here on live on the show.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun.
So do you want to like explain what all happened to you? Because I did it, but I'm not you.
Well, I thought from what I saw, I thought you did a great job. Again, I saw bits and pieces of the first half hour because I woke up and then it took me a minute. I grabbed the phone to see what time it was, and I saw 11:01, and I just kind of rolled back and I lay there for a second. And like when you're first waking up, like your brain is almost like warming up, and just like all of a sudden like, you're slowly finding out all the things that are going on in your life. Because you're just waking up, you're groggy, you're not really sure what's happening yet. And all of a sudden, boom, hit me. I was like, wait, 11:01? So I grabbed my phone again, and I see that you're on. I'm like, holy crap. And I'm like, okay, so she's doing the show. And I did. I laid there a minute again, like, maybe, she got somebody to come in, or maybe it's her. And I remembered, that it's Monday, so I'm like, all right, maybe it's her and Courtney. So I lay there for a minute. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to relax. But I laid there for maybe 2 minutes. And it was time to, hit the head. So, but I was fine. I got enough sleep. I don't, when I'm up all night, I don't want to sleep too much because then you have trouble sleeping, the next night. It throws you off. So I'm a little tired, but that's good because then I'll be able to go to bed at a normal time tonight. But so that's when I put it on, and I saw you were by yourself. I'm like, and I was like very impressed, by the way, because again, not by yourself with Courtney, totally by yourself. You're running everything there. You're doing this and here. You're running, literally running everything. I was
Thanks, baby.
Yeah, I was impressed. So, but I was fine. So that's when I was like, you know what, just hang tight. And then I saw you starting to say, I'm going to go. I'm just hanging on here for a minute. And I saw all the people saying, no, stick around, all of our friends. So that's when I chimed in. It's like, hang tight. I'm going to jump in the shower real quick. I'll be there. Because this is the way it goes. It's either this.
Explain it.
This phantom thing, it's either there or it's not. It's not like there's no lingering or anything like that. So
you don't know when it comes. You don't know when is the last one.
Right.
Like that, I think like the first one would be really bad. But for me, like not knowing if it's the last one, for me would be worse because you could never relax. You never know. Was that the last one? Was that the last one? Was that the last one?
And that's part of. I think that's actually parts of what contributes to it. All right. So to go back, you're asking what it is. It's just that it's phantom pain, and there's. I think if you ever talk to somebody who's an amputee, or if you ever seen anything like it, I think the most common urban legend, if you will, the most common myth about phantom pain is that you think your leg is there or your arm is there, whatever you're missing. You think it's there, and you'll try to do something. Like you might try to run thinking your leg is there, or you might try to grab something with an arm that's not there. But that's not. I mean, that's part of what phantom pain is, but that's not the only type of phantom pain. There's a whole bunch of different types. And talking with different amputees like myself, different people have different ways, different types of pain. I know one fellow who he gets a pain and it's constant. It's a constant, and it's just a constant pain that goes on for hours. It doesn't stop. Sometimes, and this fellow I'm talking about, we have one type of pain that's in common where we're just doing anything, sitting here talking now, so you just get a quick boom. You're like, whoa. Oh.
Yeah, I recognize his face now. Like at first I was like, did I say something bad or did someone just cut you off in the car? Because it does happen while you're driving a lot.
Yeah, well, no, but I'm not even talking about that. That's another type. That's the type that I have at night. But yeah, I'm just talking about sometimes just quick. I mean, it's really that quick and that sudden and gone that quick. Just takes you a second to be like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, and your face is like this. You're just like.
Yeah, but that's. Yeah, but again, that's the one that you're talking about that I get at night. Sometimes I get them during all times of the day. But sometimes it's just one. Like you said, I'm driving, all of a sudden I get a quick pain that lasts maybe 5 seconds, and like, okay. And you just go about your day. And you don't get another one for maybe a whole day, But it's like once or twice a year, I have these nights where it's those pains where it's like 5 seconds, it disappears, 5 to 10 seconds later, it comes again. But I do feel that, like you said, that fear of, oh my God, was that the last one or not? You know, am I doing this all night, or if we've been doing it all night, was that the last one I can finally get to sleep? I think there's that stress. Your body is so tight that you can't relax. And I do think that's contributing to the stress, and your body is stressed that it keeps happening.
Yeah, like you can't.
So you're just laying there.
And you're probably trying to just like relax your body, and that might relax your stomach. But because you're just stressed when the next one's going to come, like you're waiting for someone to smack you in the face. But it's actually worse because you said it actually feels like you're being stabbed by a knife.
I mean, I've never been stabbed by a knife, so I don't know if I'm describing it accurately, but it feels like something's digging in, man. It's a sharp, and it really, it's almost like you can feel like the beginning of a blade, and the blade, you get the first, and then how the knife expands. It really does feel like it's something starting in sharp and then it's expanding. I mean, it's just it's horrible. This was not the worst night I've had.
Yeah.
I think that was last year where it started and it continued. This went on. It started at the nighttime around, I don't know, midnight.
This is the last year when you're talking about? Yeah. This last year when that's when I bought the TENS unit.
Right.
I was like, how can I help?
Well, this one went on for, it went on for 17 hours.
The one last year.
Yeah, it's usually a nighttime thing where it just continues like that. And then sometime during the night I take a pill or something and I fall asleep. And then when I wake up, it's done. But the last time it happened, it went on, all day. And that was the worst one. And the pains were just awful. I was screaming. This time I wasn't screaming. I was holding it in. But it was still bad. But and you were a great help. I know I was not exactly warm and friendly. But you were a big help. And honestly, I'm a little fuzzy with some of the details. I know you were asking questions and you were offering things.
Yeah, I was just trying to like gently ask. I wanted to know how it felt and if it hurt, because I didn't know. Because I was thinking relaxation might help, like massage or something. But I don't have this, so I didn't know whether if, like, let's say this is your stump. If I actually touched it, would you be like, ah, or whether it was
what
deep
would I be
inside, or you would be,
that sounds like Yoko
Ono. Whether it would help, and I didn't know, like I was Googling and reading that like ice might help, which you would have killed me, and then remember the time I tried to make your foot unswelled because you broke it or something, and I stuck your foot in a bucket of ice. It was like
my real foot.
Yeah, the worst thing that like ever happened. So I just figured, 3:00 in the morning, because I didn't know. Like I went to sleep, and then one of our dogs barked or something. So I went downstairs and I came back up to murder it.
Yep.
So I come back up and he's like, you said something like, oh, Cindy had like nerve pills or something that might have worked. You said, I'm having that again. And I'm thinking, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you wake me up? And you're like, I wasn't going to wake you up. Like, wake me up. Like everyone wakes me up. Dogs wake me up. Kids wake me up. Garbage trucks wake me up. I'm not one of those that can't wake up. It doesn't matter to me. I don't even care. 1 minute for the next. It never bothers me to be woken up to help someone. I'm not being all goofy, but I just never ever mind that. I actually feel better that you do,
Yeah, I don't want to do that, but anyway, so I don't know. I think I did take a pill, I think, but it didn't really help. And all right, so what's the deal? I heard you say it this morning. So you tried the TENS unit, you put it on. Yeah. And then I fell asleep after that because I have no conception of time. No conception of time. I have no idea what time anything was going on. Or
you weren't sleeping from 3 because then when I knew what was going on, I was just watching you, and I was asking like questions, but you just were in a lot of pain. I could tell from your face, so I was like leaving you alone and hoping you would fall asleep, but you didn't fall asleep. Like every time I thought you might fall asleep, you didn't. So then I remembered. I was like, I wonder if that would work, that TENS unit thing. So I grabbed it around 6.
The TENS unit.
Yeah. Because you
said grabbed it. So
yeah.
It's just specifying what you grabbed.
Yeah, I was actually wondering if that would help. Like, I'm like, if you like give some type of relief might help. But you were just like, I'm just trying to sleep. And so I was trying to leave you alone, hoping that you would fall asleep. But then you didn't. Then I'm thinking, he's not going to fall asleep. I'm going to try this thing. But it's really if you know that someone doesn't want to be touched and they're in a lot of pain, the last thing you want to bring up to them while they're trying to sleep and they haven't slept for hours and they're exhausted is, so I have this electrical unit that I could attach to you. This is a great idea. I'm going to attach these electrodes to you, and then I'm going to turn up the electrocution. Do you want to go get that? Like, how do you bring that up? So I was maybe he'll just fall asleep and I could talk to him about it the next day, and maybe I could put the pads on him. This is what I was thinking. I was thinking, I just hope he goes to sleep. But he wasn't. But I was thinking at the time, I probably should have taken this thing out of the box, when I got it a year ago and said, this is what it looks like. You put a pad here, you put a pad here. I crank up the electricity and it makes your muscle contract and release. And that should help.
There are other times we should try it.
You really don't remember what this feels like, do you?
All I remember is...
It's not a bad feeling, but it's not a happy feeling.
Really? All right, well, I'll tell
you.
All I don't remember feeling any pain from that.
You're electrocuted.
Well, yeah, but I remember you asked me if we should try it. I remember you getting it. I remember you putting it on. I remember you constantly asking, do you feel it yet? Do you feel it yet? Almost like you were surprised I wasn't feeling it.
Because it's alarming. Like, I put it on myself, and I was at... I have a better tolerance of pain than you do. You're a baby. Not with this stuff, but
not with this stuff.
Like,
I can cut my finger and I'm a baby about it, but stuff like this, I have a high tolerance. Like even
I could bang my head and I'm like, oh man, I just banged my head. You'd be like, oh my god.
When I had the amputation, I only took medication for one day, and then I just dealt with it the rest of the time. Like, first coming out of the
You deal
surgery.
with this amazing.
Yeah, like big stuff like that, I have a high tolerance, but little stuff I am.
But little things, you do not at all.
You do very well with little things.
Like, even when you take a shower, he takes a shower, like, in baby lukewarm water. Like, even
no,
like...
I take cold showers.
Yeah, like lukewarm. That means, like...
No, I think it's more like cool. But what does that have to do with pain?
Like, he can't even, like, you put, like, the shower on hot, and he's like,
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I've jumped in the shower with you. You take very hot showers. And I don't sit there and go, I just sit there while you shower.
Like this.
I sit on the one-legged shower bench. I don't sit there. Stop it. It's hot. I've never done that.
I know, he hasn't. But it's too hot for him. That's my point.
Yeah,
my point
I don't like it that hot, but
he has very sensitive skin. You do.
Do I?
You do. Yeah, your nerve
Show me.
endings
Touch
are...
me. Ow!
So I didn't want to bring this up to you while you were sleeping, that I was going to electrocute you.
Oh, okay. But I never felt pain from it. I remember you asking me, do you feel it yet? Do you feel it yet? And I remember thinking to myself, should I be in pain right now? Like, what is she talking about? Is she gonna like shock me to death? But then all it felt to me like was just like something was circular, like I was getting rubbed in circle.
I had it
like
on
that.
the kneading.
That's all. And then there was.
It's not a good feeling though.
It wasn't painful or discomfortable. Did I just make up a word?
We even slept a lot lately.
It wasn't painful or uncomfortable at all. It wasn't. I didn't think it was helping at first. Because I was still getting the regular, the stump pain while it was going on.
Yeah.
But you have to remember too, which getting off topic a little bit, but because the leg it wasn't just, they didn't just chop it at a certain spot and then that's what's left of my leg. They actually moved bones, because otherwise I would have been cut. I was actually cut very close to the hip, but to give me a longer stump, obviously the more leg you have, the better, for to fit in, to a fake leg. So what they did is, because it was my femur, the top, above the knee, in between the weights and above the knee was, in between the waist and the knee was where my problems were. So they had to chop all that out. They took all the bones from the bottom, from below the knee. They put it up top, And then they even moved, like, they had to move a lot of the nerves, and they even just kind of moved some skin. It wasn't just a clean cut. And then, so they told me when they did it that way, that even though I can see that that's what they did, and I know that's what they did, but it still never completely registers in the brain. So there are parts of my stump that you can touch, but because my brain gets confused, I feel it in a different part of my stump. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's true. And they said that'll never change. It's not like the brain will get used to it or something. They said that'll never change. Sometimes I actually just sit there and I'll rub a little area and feel it on the other end. I'm just laughing to myself. That's funny. So, but I'm thinking that's why I wasn't really feeling much when you were doing that thing.
But your muscles.
But I was not feeling any pain.
Were going like crazy.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and then I raised it all the way up to 10, which is the highest you can do it.
That's like Back to the Future when Marty's going to test out that new
amp.
Yeah,
and
it throws him across the room.
Yeah.
Imagine that you threw me right out. Remember, that would have been if you threw me right out the window. I go flying across Massapequa. That would have been cool.
Yeah, right out the window. So yeah, so I
now
did
she's
it for
like,
a while.
I wish he didn't show up.
So I did it for a while, and then you're only supposed to do it for a certain amount of time. So I pulled it back off, and I didn't really talk to you, but seriously, like 2 minutes later, 3-4 minutes later, you started snoring.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think you woke up again because I turned off he had a couple alarms set to wake up, and I'm like, no. So I turned off your alarms, and and then I texted people that I thought might contact you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm like, just so you know.
Like who?
Well, I let Zach know. And Zach was great. He's like, oh, is it like last year? Because he was screaming last year. I'm like, it wasn't that. I don't think it's that bad because he wasn't screaming. And he's sleeping and snoring right now. So I think it's over. He's like, okay, thank you. And then I texted your mom, and Chris Thomas sent a text to Eric, me, and you.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I didn't. So I texted Chris and Eric saying, hold off till tonight because I don't know how. Usually when this happens, you sleep the whole next day.
Well, it depends on how long it goes on.
Yeah. So did you wake up much after it? Like, did it work? Should we use it all the time, or is shit?
Now that you're telling me it was right after that, then yeah, I would definitely say let's try it again. I have no perception of time as far as what happened here, but I didn't realize it was right after that I fell asleep, and no, I don't recall waking up at all. I just remember, all of a sudden opening my eyes and seeing it was 11:01. So
it was so funny too because I didn't just like a professional, like, oh, here's one sticky thing here and one sticky thing here, and now I'm going to I didn't really know how to.
You were just putting in random spots.
No, well, there's no good spot to put it. You have to put like a certain amount far away from each other. But I didn't want to test it on him because like he's been through enough. So I'm trying to like test it on me. And
what the hell's the matter with you?
At first it isn't working, and then it is working, and I'm trying not to scream out because I don't want to like alarm him. And I'm like, and then at one point I did, when I got it where I thought it would work great, I put it on your stump, and then but then I wanted to move it to a different location because I didn't see him.
You could have killed yourself. It'd be smoke blowing out of your ears. I would have woke up to you like a singed head.
Yeah, your stump is, like you were saying before, your muscles are all in different locations, and there are certain. So I had one, I knew that was in a good location, and then where I originally put the top lead, I didn't like where it was. I felt like it was on like maybe skin that wasn't sensitive enough. So I go to move it, but I don't turn it off. So I go to move it, and I'm like, and I'm like trying to get it off my hands.
Really?
Because I'm
it's that bad?
I'm pulling off you, but I'm completely electrocuting. I actually just felt it. I just had goosebumps of just memory of what it felt like. I was
it's
like,
really that bad?
And
I'm telling you, I didn't feel a thing.
As I'm trying to make a choice.
Painful, that is.
While I'm being electrocuted by the sticky rubber lead, I'm trying to make the decision of grabbing the TENS unit and turning it off, at the same time, I'm thinking maybe I'll just get the thing off my fingers, but it's stuck to my fingers. So I'm trying to like get it back off and turn it off at the same time. I was like, all while being quiet, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't. Maybe it's the nerves are just really, you know, a mess.
I have no. I like I said, I do remember that going on. Like I said, I just remember it felt like something was just rubbing against my skin. I didn't feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did. I didn't feel any pain from that.
Good.
So
I'm glad.
I'm like Superman.
No, that's great. That means it's not painful and it worked because you fell asleep after that. And was it over then, or did you just have a few?
As far as I know, that was it.
Wow, this is great. Because, like I said, I was Googling, and that was like one of the things that they say like works really well. And Danielle Asher's mom wrote in, who's a nurse, and she said that's a great thing to use.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, but that's how it always goes. Once, whether it's taking an Advil or doing a TENS unit, once I get to sleep, that seems to be the end of it. I don't ever recall falling asleep in the middle of it and then, you know, waking up again because it's still happening. I think once whatever it is that gets me to sleep, and there's no lingering effects. It's not like, you know, the flu where you still, you know, maybe have a sore throat the next day once you're feeling better. There's nothing like that. Once you're up and you're fine.
Yeah.
Which is why I was like, screw it. Let me get myself together and I'll go in.
I just figured you had like such little sleep, like all weekend long anyway, and then, you know.
Yeah, it was a crazy weekend. Well, speaking of the weekend though, this whole thing was not the weirdest part of at least for me, not the weirdest part of the weekend. It was not. All this leg pain and stuff. Now, did you talk about this at all? I know you talked about White Post. Okay. The weirdest part for me this weekend, as Sally mentioned, we started working at White Post Farm this weekend, the annual fall festival. It's our second year of working there. Very excited about working there. We both enjoy it a lot. I speaking for myself, I love the gig I got there. I hope to do it for a long time. I have a lot of fun. So yesterday, we did it Saturday, Sunday. Yesterday, the weirdest part of my weekend happened. And it was, so Sally said that, you know, I have a microphone. They call it the host. My name, they call me Farmer Willie, and he's your host. And they even have a sign. Your host, Farmer Willie. I'm one of the first people you see when you walk into the place. And I, you know, yeehaw, hi everybody, you know, come on in. You know, we got, you know, great food over here. We got the show starting over there. We got this happening over here. And I joke around with people. Oh, look at that. You know, oh, look at your shirt. You know, a lot of people wear a pumpkin shirt, and I'll be like, oh, it's a walking pumpkin because the pumpkin patch is right next to me. Or a little kid might be, you know, he might have Batman on his shirt, and I was, oh, ladies and gentlemen, Batman's here, and he'll get all excited and he'll, you know, be proud.
They love it. They just love you there.
I just tease them all day long. There were these guys walking through who looked like the Backstreet Boys to me. So another guy looked like Will Smith. So I called him out on it. So
the one that I loved the most was because I'm sitting there. I grabbed a sandwich and I was just eating a sandwich, and this family with like twins, like young twins, were walking by, and they were dressed the same. And Tony's just talking to them. He's like, wow, look at you. You look the same. You're dressed the same. Isn't it amazing that you both showed up here at the same time? And they were like, we're twins. Oh!
All right, but the weirdest part, a friend of ours showed up, was walking around. In fact, the first time I ever met this guy was at White Post Farms a few years back when I was doing a different job for them. And he was hanging around for a while. He's good friends with Rich Walker, so he was there saying hi to him. Rich Walker is a great comedian here on the Long Island scene. He performs all over, and he's here at the Governor's quite a bit. He's been in here a couple times. Been on a lot of the shows here at Govs Radio. Rich works there, too. He performs a show for the kids. And he does a fantastic job with Kelly and Joe. So a friend of ours was there. He's walking around. Now, I'm going to show you this man's picture. Okay, and some of you probably know him, even on a national level. You may have heard of him, and I'm going to show you this picture. This picture doesn't really show off his whole thing. Like, he's got the full, like, beautiful suit and everything. That's all his real hair. The story behind it. So if you're listening just on the audio, like I believe my mother is, I'm showing a picture of Santa Claus. Okay, now this fella, I've known him for a while, and I don't know him terribly well, but we're friends. I talk to him sometimes.
Since you were a little boy.
Well, right. And he's a great guy. He does a lot of charity work. Again, he is like he's the closest to the real thing you'll ever get as far as, the physical appearance. But what happened was, and again, he's gained a little national fame because he actually did, some years back, he actually legally changed his name to Santa Claus. So that is actually his name.
And he makes a full living at this.
This is all he does. He makes appearances, especially during the holiday season, of course, making, appearances and doing things. But even during the the warmer months, he does a lot of charity work. He still gets, some people will still hire him to do something. He's just a great guy. He really is just a great guy. And I'm not trying to be funny because like the tie in with the whole Santa Claus thing. The guy is he's a good guy. He changed his name to it, and he kind of tries to live up to that name. So he's just really a good guy. I've tried a few times to get him in here, but he's just busy. But so anyway, so he's there. He's walking around. He's hanging out. He wasn't hired, to do anything there. He's just walking around. But because that's his real hair, of course, it's just, people just say, oh, there's Santa Claus. So the weirdest part of my weekend, something happened to Santa Claus while he was there. He lost his cell phone. So that was the weirdest part of my weekend, was getting on a microphone at White Post Farms. There's hundreds, if not thousands of people walking through the place because the place is huge. And getting on my microphone and saying, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eye out, ladies and gentlemen. If you see a cell phone somewhere, keep your eye out for it and bring it on up here to Farmer Willie. It belongs to Santa Claus. Ladies and gentlemen, Santa Claus has lost his phone. Everybody, please, if you can find that phone, bring it on up here. And I'm like, and then I even said, I said, that is something in my whole life I never thought I'd say, ladies and gentlemen. Santa Claus has lost his phone.
What was he dressed as? Like, what was he dressed like?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He always looks like Santa Claus no matter what he wears because that's his real hair and his real beard.
All right.
But he did have a red and white shirt on, so that enhanced it. But and jeans. So even kids would come up to me, that's not him. He's not dressed. I go, well, he's not going to wear that during the warm, and it was 80 degrees yesterday. I said, he's not going to wear that. He'll die. I said, that's what he wears when he's not up at the North Pole. There were plenty of kids that were looking at him like, oh my God, it's him, But there were this one group of people. I'm assuming they're all family, but they had one little boy with them. He was probably like 3 or 4, but probably maybe 5 adults with him. So I kept making the announcement over and over. Santa Claus has lost his phone. And then, of course, trying to get silly with it because it just seemed so surreal to me to make an announcement like that. So then I was eventually saying, if you find the phone, you better bring it back because he's watching. He knows who's on that naughty or nice list. If you bring it up to him, you might get a little something extra for Christmas. Like, nice. I didn't know what else to say, But there was this one family, like, they're looking at each other like, what? Santa Claus? What? So I walked over to him with the mic off, and I said, I explained, that's really his name. I don't, how else do I say it? I'm not going to say, Santa Claus Bob Smith.
You don't even know his real name anymore. He's been Santa Claus for so long.
He has been for a long time, but I used to know his real name. I've actually forgotten it. I want to say Vinny something, but I'm not even sure if that's right. But it doesn't matter because his real name is now Santa Claus. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to explain to these people what the deal was because they obviously didn't see him, But as I was talking to them, we spotted him again. I go, see, there he is. And the looks on their faces like, holy crap.
It's Santa.
It was really fun. And then eventually I started doing that too. Whenever I saw him, I would say, see, ladies and gentlemen, there he is. There's the man. There's Santa. And he really did lose his phone. And the poor guy, and I think like most of us now, we lose our phone, we're going to get a little upset.
Right.
We have so much in those phones. We're so attached to these things now. That it would be very upsetting to lose it. So
he has all our Christmas requests. It's a big deal.
And it was interesting because he was getting annoyed, but he would just kind of keep it in or just kind of use me a little bit as his soundboard, to just vent a little frustration because he didn't want anybody else. He didn't want anybody to see Santa getting mad. So I thought that was really cool of him to, he never lost sight of where he was and what he was doing.
Right?
Well, it took a long time. I must have made 5 or 6 announcements, and it wasn't just one after another. They're spread out in time. And then he stuck around for a while looking for it. He never found it. It wasn't until after he was gone that somebody turned it in.
But then didn't you like Facebook him and tell him?
Yeah, I wrote them on Facebook, but then I messaged, Facebook Messenger, but I realized I even wrote it. So I wrote, hey, somebody found your phone. I don't know if you're still here. Let me know if you need me to grab it. Whatever I said. But then I ended it with, I guess this is kind of a moot point because if you lost your phone, you're not checking your Facebook right now.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. The poor guy's got to go home,
right?
Turn on his computer, and then all of a sudden he'll realize.
That's what happened. He did message me back later saying that White Post. I guess he maybe still has a landline, or they were able to. Maybe they knew his daughter's cell phone or something. They did call him somehow, and said we found it. So
yeah.
So I never personally saw it. So I'm assuming they just made arrangements with him to get it to him. But again, just the strangest, something I never thought I'd say in my life to a crowd full of people, a big crowd. Santa Claus has lost his phone. And that made me laugh all day. I just thought it was the craziest thing. So that was the weirdest part, not being in pain all night long with this stupid stump.
So weird. And I'm get out in kettle corn in 2 fields away, and so I have they give you a radio to use to talk amongst other departments at the farm. So I'm hearing the chatter about Santa Claus and his phone. So I go up later on, and I said to Tony, I'm like, hey, how's your day? And he's like, well, this happened and that happened, and what about you? And I was like, well, it's weird. I was walking by, and I saw a phone. It was it had actually it's like Santa Claus's phone. Too weird. He's like, you have it? You found it? No, I'm just messing with you. He's like, how'd you know? I'm like, because I have a radio. I hear everything that's going on.
You're a dick.
I'm a dick. But he was so excited, like he saw Santa for the first time. You have it?
Now, I know Eric has been popping back and forth here. Do we know anything about his film that he's working on?
Yeah.
Does he have lines, or is he just
He does have lines.
He does?
I
really?
think he does, yeah. So, because they called him up. He said he's on the movie set, and then...
and then the scene he's in takes place in a bar? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he, at one point, he was having trouble with his phone. His phone was cutting in and out or something, or maybe his battery was dying, and then he said, oh, they're calling me now. So I guess he's doing his stuff right now.
Oh, all right, but
I don't know how many lines he has. That's the last I heard from him.
But where in that story did you find out he has lines?
What would he be doing if he didn't
Oh, so you don't know that for a fact? He didn't tell you that.
But I would imagine he had lines.
Why would you imagine he has lines? No, he's an extra. He's a background. Because if he had lines, he would have gotten it in advance. I didn't know. At least that's what I think.
Yeah, that's true. I still think he's a famous movie star right now.
I think he's not. I'm thinking that he's just in the background, sitting there all day long, doing nothing but just sitting in the background, sitting on a chair, doing nothing.
Andy said, I hope you cleared Santa's history before anyone else could look. Yeah, that could be.
Oh, imagine
he could be out of a job real fast.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
That would be I'd be scarred for life if I saw a
I don't
naked
know.
picture of Santa Claus.
Yeah, and just his red hat. You're all picturing it now, aren't you?
I saw Mommy banging Santa Claus.
Ken said, Santa's web browser history is naughty.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I didn't even think of that.
I'm surprised you didn't.
I know, but now I'm a little... I feel like old skeevy. That's worse than seeing your parents in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Santa Claus,
Santa
for crying
Claus.
out loud.
Yeah. Well,
he's the most important person in the world.
Mm-hmm. He is.
Oh, my goodness.
That's
funny. You got to give me a minute here. I'm all verklempt. Although, who said it? Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a twisted individual.
Yeah.
I'm kind of proud that I didn't think of that.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't think of it.
Yeah, these comedians, that's actually not a bad bit, huh? Santa Claus. Santa porn.
Santa porn. I bet you there's
I'm sure there's
something for everyone.
not this particular Santa Claus. I'm just saying I'm sure there's porns with somebody dressed as Santa Claus.
It's alarming, the topics.
The porn topics?
The porn topics.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of them that you know the topics, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't expect this today. All right, yeah, so all right, so you don't know what he's doing, Eric. You don't know what he's doing. You don't know. All right, so he's just, so he's He's like me, sitting on you sit in a room for hours waiting to be called in, so you just go sit on a set and just sitting in the background.
Here's why I think he has lines.
Okay.
I doubt they're paying him, right?
Well, I don't know. I know it's Sarah Martin making the movie. I don't know if this is if this has some kind of backing behind it, or if this is just an independent film that she's making and she's asking people, "Can you do me a favor and be in my movie?"
Yeah, but who would go do that for free if you're not going to like at least have lines?
Plenty of people.
Because it's a long freaking day.
Well, that's the thing, though. It might not be. Again, I don't know anything about this movie, so you could be sitting there all day, like in a major production, and you film the scene over and over. Or if it's just an independent film with no budget that she's making, you probably do it a lot faster. You probably don't do as many takes. You just, pump it out. So it's hard to say what. But plenty of people would say yes because they might want to just. One, it might just be people who don't act but want to see themselves on TV or, on a film. So they'll just be in the background. Or it's just somebody that knows her that's doing her a favor.
All right.
Or it's Eric.
Okay.
Or somebody like Eric is just like, yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be cool. So,
okay.
And just trying to support, maybe, I'm just giving a bad example, but maybe we'll need a favor someday from her. Hey, we need somebody in a show, or we're filming a movie, or, whatever it is.
Yeah, I guess. I wouldn't make someone sit there all day long and not at least give them a line, even if it's like, hey, I love pizza, whatever.
There's a big
something.
Big dramatic scene, the woman tells her husband she's leaving him, and there's Eric walking by. I love pizza.
I love pizza.
I love you, honey, but what you did to me, I just can't go on anymore. I'm sorry. I love pizza. I mean, it doesn't change the effect at all of the scene.
I think that would be great.
It's like Anchorman. I like lamp.
I like lamp.
Everybody should have What if you're filming a scene at a baseball game? Every single person there should have a line?
Do you get line credit if you're singing a song in a group?
What, you mean like a baseball game where everybody's singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game together?
Yeah.
Would be cool if
but
you did.
Do you get like line credit for that?
No, you don't.
Oh, I was going to say everyone should just do that. Sing a song. It's a good idea.
Sometimes Sally just leaves me speechless, which is a hard thing to do, a bad thing to do on the radio. But.
Yeah, then when, then no one feels left out. It's a good idea.
Gina, can you, pass that over to Jack, see if he can make that happen?
Yeah.
All right, so now I think that was the last thing I heard. Gina called in. Chris Rock showed up at the party. Mm-hmm. And so Gina never made it. So she missed an opportunity to miss Chris Rock. Now, and what else? What other details about the party did she give? Anything?
No, because she wasn't there.
Well, I didn't know if there was anything else. Like, I don't know, George Clooney showed up too. Like, I didn't know what else there was to the story. That was the last thing I heard that Chris Rock showed up.
I guess Timothy Hutton was obviously there.
Well, right, because he's in the show. Right. Okay. And who's the girl?
We couldn't remember. She actually either wrote it or said it a while ago. It was no one that I know, but...
Yeah, she was on... What was it, High School Musical she's from or something? I forget now.
Yeah, I saw the just a small clip on it. I thought she was great. It should be a good show.
Did she say when the show starts? Because it's probably starting soon. We're in the, Ken said it's the fall
She's thinking
season.
October. She did say that Jack really thinks it's a good show. And
really?
He's usually not one to, say. So maybe it really is, so.
All right, let me see. Almost Family. And I'm asking, of course, because... Speaking of extras, I want to see myself because this was a show that I did a few weeks ago, and let's see, does it say when it's starting? Oh, Brittany Snow, that's the girl who's in it.
Did you get to sing a song?
I did not sing a song.
See, that's where it went wrong.
Okay, so episode 1. Oh, October 2nd. Oh, the phone's ringing. It's Brittany Snow. You're live on the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show. Who's this?
Hello, Eric. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Dennis. How are you, pal?
What's going on, bud?
Everything all right over there?
Yeah, man. Chilling, dude.
Very nice. We haven't heard from you in a while.
Yeah, no, I was busy, man.
Busy? You getting ready for your wedding?
Oh, yeah. You know how I am.
When is the wedding again?
October 25th.
October 25th. And where is this going to take place?
Did the date change? Because I feel like I had it down October 4th, unless I got it wrong.
Yes, it got changed for a little bit of reason.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't, crazy.
As long as it happens.
Oh, yeah, it will be happening. And I got my buddy Felix making the cake for me.
Oh, is that right?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's super.
Yeah,
where is it going to take place?
It's going to take Huntington.
In Huntington, okay.
Yep.
Very nice. All right, we'll have to think of something we can do for Dennis for his wedding.
I know. I wish it because we have a murder mystery that night.
Yeah, right. But that's
We'll do
that's
something.
great, Dennis. Very excited for you, pal.
Oh, thanks. I can't wait. We are both excited.
Of course. And how was your weekend? Do anything good?
Yeah, I went to 7-Eleven, got pizza, whatever. It was nice.
7-Eleven pizza?
Yep.
Who took you there?
My stepmother took me there.
I'm sorry, who did?
I said one of my friends took me there.
One of your friends took you to 7-Eleven for pizza. Do they have good pizza at 7-Eleven?
Oh, yes, they do.
Really?
Try it. Yes, try it.
All right, because I'm thinking, 7-Eleven, I would think of a better place to go for pizza. Lots of better places to go for pizza.
No, go after 4 o'clock. It's cheaper than after 4.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll have to keep
It's only
that in mind.
50. It's only 50 cents pizza.
50 cents?
Yep.
Wow. Oh, so you're a cheap date.
No, I'm not. No, I'm a pretty good guy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Of course, you're a good guy. That's why. That's why somebody snatched you up to marry you, because you're a good guy.
Yeah, of course I am. I wish you guys could see me one day. It'd be awesome.
Absolutely would. Yeah, we'll have to. We definitely have to make plans about that and figure something out.
Oh hell yeah, definitely.
So, all right, very nice. So I'm glad you had a good weekend and good
How
luck.
was your weekend, Eric?
It was very good. It was very good. We worked. We were working all weekend, but it was fun. We had a good time.
That's good. What'd you guys do?
Well, Sally and I work at. Actually, speaking of Huntington, we work at White Post Farms, which is right next to Huntington. I don't know if you've ever heard of White Post Farm, but they have it's a big farm and they have pumpkins and stuff, but they have a fall festival every year where they have little shows and they have a lot of food to have, and you can pick out your pumpkin for to carve out for Halloween.
Oh, that's cool.
So
That's nice.
yeah, and Sally and I work there every year during the fall season, so we have a good time. It was a lot of fun.
That's good. That's great. That's really nice.
Yep,
And don't forget, guys, I'm a DJ also now too.
That's right. You're not DJing your own wedding, are you?
No. We're not having a big party. We have going to Denny's after.
Oh, okay.
When we get married, we're going to Denny's.
Denny's. Wow. Yeah. They have good wedding receptions there.
Oh yeah, I never heard it before, but I know they. But I ain't calling me up. I'm going to call them and say, hey, I got a couple, some big people coming.
Oh, that's a good idea. Good idea.
But that first thing I got to do that morning, I got to pick up the cake up from Felix.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I'm getting a big ass whoopie pie.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. And he's making it himself?
Yes.
Wow.
Nice.
I'm impressed. He's a good guy, that Felix, huh?
Yes, he is. He's awesome.
Yeah. Very nice. All right, cool. We'll have to stay on him and see how it's coming along with making that cake.
Oh yeah, and remember that, guys. If you come in the wedding, make sure you got to wear dark blue.
Dark blue. Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right.
Remember, not dressed up either. It's casual. Make sure you guys are dressed in like short sleeve shirt or whatever, but it has to be dark blue.
Oh, so you're saying we have to, you're inviting us? Is that what's happening here?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
What time is the wedding?
Yeah, what time?
I think he's going to be here by 9 o'clock, so I'd say about 12:30, somewhere there.
12:30 in the afternoon?
Yep.
Oh, we might be able to do this after all. No, we still have the festival. All right, well, we'll try to figure something out. But thank you, Dennis. Thank you for the invite. That's very nice.
No problem. Felix is welcome to come, but I know his legs get on. But I already done an invite for him too.
Wow.
What time is the wedding again, Dennis?
12:30. Between 12 and 12:30.
Wow. Okay. All right. Very nice. Well, thank you, pal. Thank you for the call. Thank you for the invite. That's very nice. You got your usual shout outs?
Yes, I'm gonna give a shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome. And actually, I want to give a shout out to all Govs Radio. If you guys are listening, all Govs Radio, no matter what.
Very nice. Thank you, pal. It's very nice.
All Govs Radio is #1. I love you guys' show. You guys keep it up. I love you guys' show.
Right back at you, pal. Thanks so much.
Yeah, right. Don't, like I said, Govs Radio loses, you can lose a best friend.
That's right. Absolutely right. Thanks, man.
All right, see you guys later. You guys are awesome.
Bye, Dennis.
Right, so are you, Dennis. We'll see you soon.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, the 25th is a Friday, so we're not doing the festival during the day.
Oh, the 25th is oh, that's right, because we're doing Governors that night. Wow. So we should do some kind of live. Yeah, we'll just go Facebook Live from Govs Radio.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, let's kick it around. It'd be nice to be there for them, you know?
Yeah, we should maybe find a good spot where we can just, talk amongst ourselves for the first hour.
Yeah, I don't want to be intrusive. It's like their day. I don't want to make it like that. Like if he would want that, fine, but you know what I mean?
Or we just don't start at 11. We just start at 12, a special time 12 that day.
Yeah.
And then then record, and then go live with the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. That's why I asked what time it was, because, we could probably swing it.
I feel like yelling at somebody over there, though. Denny's? Come on, take them somewhere nice for crying out loud.
We'll kidnap them.
We'll kidnap them and take them to
the day
McDonald's.
I got married and kidnapped on the same day.
We'll kidnap them, take them to the diner.
Maybe it's their, favorite food, though, You never know.
No, you're absolutely right about that.
Like, what if, someone, if, you had a special event and someone, brought you to All-American, you'd be thrilled.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Showing up in All-American in our tuxes.
So what did he say? It's dark blue?
Dark blue, yes.
All right.
And he said you can even wear short sleeves.
Okay.
But we have time. There's plenty of time, so we'll iron out those details.
Okay.
But yes, we could make that. Since it's during the day, it's a Friday, so we could do that. Just in time to go to our show that night at Governor's, the brokerage in Belmore, Friday, October 25th. As you heard Ken Bichelle mention, he did a beautiful job mentioning our show that night. Go to govs.com to see all of for the ticket information for our show, October 25th.
$22 a ticket.
But for all of their shows, you can see their full schedule. I didn't bring anything with me today, so I don't even know who's playing this weekend. But I know Robert Klein is coming up. I know Jay Moore is coming up. There's a lot of great stuff happening here. So go to govs.com to find out who's playing when at all of the 3 great Governor's comedy clubs here on Long Island. Actually, 4 clubs if you count the Little Room. So you have Governor's, the main room here in Levittown. Then over here on the side is the Little Room here in Levittown. You got the brokerage in Belmore, and you got McGuire's in Bohemia. Did you talk about, speaking of Governor's, did you talk about Rodea this morning?
I only talked about all I mentioned was how great he is at stand-up and how it's always new, fresh stuff. That I was saying that he has his show on, Tuesdays and here at the radio show, and I was surprised that a lot of the things that have just happened in the last few weeks, he used that material for a stand-up Saturday night. He is able to do that. He's really good at that.
If you watch his show that he does here with us on Tuesdays, you'll recall a couple of weeks ago his father calling in because he calls his father every week, and his father with the Italian accent, it's just hilarious. And if you recall a couple of weeks ago, he called his dad, and his dad was all upset he couldn't get his TV remote to work. And Anthony, it was a whole giant bit. It was hilarious. But the one part that was just outrageously funny was Anthony asked him what size batteries, and his father goes, instead of saying AAA or AAA, he went, It was so funny.
Yeah.
And then Anthony, he used that in his show the other night.
Yeah.
And the place was just hysterical.
And it's not planned, like Anthony and his dad. Because you said bit, so I don't want people to think
true.
They have Anthony, even before the show, his dad will call and he'll be like, I can't call tonight, I can't talk, and he'll say 10 hilarious things just talking to his son. So the material is endless because it's so funny.
But that's the beauty of Anthony's show, and you're right. He's always writing. He's always coming up with new stuff.
Right.
I've watched a lot of his YouTube. This was I think the second time I've seen him live. In person. Doing his stand-up. And is that the phone? Yeah, we can take it. I'll get back to our Anthony story. Okay. Hey, you're live on. Who's that?
Who's this?
Who's that?
Who this?
Who's that?
Who there?
Who it be?
I left the set.
Oh, you're done?
No, I didn't even get on, but I was
what?
Well, now they're setting up for the party scene or whatever I guess I was going to be in. And I'm like, well, I got to go now.
What do you mean?
It's only 10 to 2.
Wait,
I fucking left.
Wait a minute. Why did you leave? What do you mean you got to go?
It takes too long.
Because she said 10 to 2.
Okay.
That we'd be filming the scene. Well, if they're just going to start it now, I don't want to ruin the shot with continuity issues by being in half of it and not in the other half. So I was like, forget it.
But it takes place at a party, you said, right?
I guess.
People come and go at parties all the time.
That's true.
So you were there since 10 o'clock this morning, probably left the house at 9 because it's out in Bohemia, and you did nothing?
Did nothing.
That's the way it is.
Stupid. No, it's not the way it is. You
the
do
way
the
it
scene.
is. No, the waiting around and hoping you're going to get on, and it's endless.
What I should have done was I should have blocked off the whole day.
Right.
And been aware of that, not remembering what it's like to be an extra. I was like, oh boy.
So
I was like, all right, well, you know what?
Why do you have to leave? You had something with the kids?
Yeah, of course. I always got something with the kids.
You failed. Take a late bus. They're fine.
Say, hey, I apologize.
Was she upset?
No, she wasn't. She was still setting up for the shot. And listen, there was plenty of people there. It's not like I left her high and dry.
Right. That's what I mean. So she wasn't upset being like she didn't have special plans for you or something.
No.
Like she didn't have like you had no lines, right?
No lines.
But this was your chance. You could have been in the background making out with Teresa.
Yeah. And when I walked in, she goes, "Oh my God, one of my guys just called in sick. I have a scene for you right away."
Oh, what the?
I'm like, okay, whatever you need me to do. She goes, "It's with Dan."
No way.
And she saw my face, and she goes, "Uh-oh, is there a problem with that?" I go, "I hate the guy." So, I go, "But I'll be a professional, whatever you need me to do." She goes, no, I'll figure it out.
Oh, so
like, okay.
So you said that, so that you screwed yourself out of a scene with lines.
Yeah. What am I? But I don't
now you sound like Kenny.
He doesn't want his first time to be,
It's not his first time. His first time was with me. I popped his flower in the movie world.
So weird. So I would never, I was like, she's like, you'll play a mafia guy. I'm like, oh, here we go. A blonde mafia guy. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, you are Italian.
Could be the Irish mob.
Yeah, I guess. I'm like, oh, boy.
So he was there? Did you see him?
Yeah. And you know how he wants to be nice and apologize to us, right? He came right over and did that to me and, said, hey, sorry for everything I did and said.
Oh, and did you? So you hugged and sang Kumbaya, and now you're good?
No. He looked at me, I gave him a stare, and he turned away.
So he apologized to you. You didn't say a word.
He didn't. I was kidding. He didn't apologize because he lies.
I thought he was for real. So you guys saw each other. You didn't say a word to each other.
I gave him the look I gave your old partner.
Yes.
And that kind of conveyed my feelings, so he knew to stay away.
Wow. So you had a great day. You didn't get on film, and you got to hang out with Dan.
Yes, it was a memorable day. It was wonderful. I can't wait to come in and talk all about it tomorrow.
I think I had a better night. Yeah. I think I'd rather do that again than have the day you had.
Anyway,
Tony would rather be stabbed with a knife.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm calling to say I'm very proud of Sally.
Me too.
She did a great job. I always knew she could do it.
You're absolutely right.
She always thought I was making fun of her.
Right.
Well, you were making fun of me.
You're absolutely well.
No, I wasn't.
Well, no, it did. It started out as a joke, but he's right. He was always encouraging you, and I believed him. He felt that you could do it, and I agreed. But he did. He encouraged you more than I did.
Well, there isn't anything to do. It's whether you're good or not. I mean, I could sit here by myself and do this, but it's just not going to be good. Anyone can do this. It's you guys make it good.
Yeah, but that's not what we're saying. We're saying you could do it and make it good, which you did today. You made it work. You kept in touch with the comments and the phone calls, and you kept the conversation going. It was entertaining.
And you kept the audience up to date about what a pussy Tony was, and
True.
And I'm sitting there going, "Oh no, should I just leave right now and get there?" I'm like, of all days for this to happen.
Right.
And then my phone started dying because I was watching the show, and then I'm like, "Oh fuck!" So then I just went in the car, sat in the car for a little while, because these people are fucking nuts, and I forget that they're nuts. And listen, and there's not anything wrong with that, but you know.
Nothing wrong with being nuts.
Nothing wrong with being fucking nuts.
I shouldn't say nuts. They're eclectic. They're very, they're
Hippy-dippy?
eclectic people.
Some of
They're
them,
an
not
eclectic group.
a large majority of them, but not all of them.
No. I was sitting in the corner talking to a nice lady, and this other guy came up and was talking, but yeah, I didn't know what was going on, so I was like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna go.
All right, it's late and it's time for us to go, but I want to hear. I definitely want to talk more about
we'll
this
talk
tomorrow.
about it tomorrow.
Yeah, we will. All right, you
All
guys,
right.
great job. See you guys tomorrow.
All right,
bye.
You're a dick. Wow.
1 o'clock.
What a great day for everybody, except for you. You had a good day, and very proud of you. Really, you did a super job.
Thanks.
I can't believe you were thinking of leaving.
Yeah, because who wants to watch me for
Oh.
2 hours?
I'd watch
2
you.
hours is like a long time.
You could have went topless. All right, with that, everybody. Thanks for joining us this morning. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you, Sally, for holding the fort. Completely
You bet.
holding the fort. Just not even on the air, but completely taking care of everything. And, you took care of Valentina this morning. What do we got tonight now? It's Steve's and the Wort?
Yes.
Steve Squared and the Wort tonight on govsradio.com. Don't forget to join tomorrow, Tea Time with Teresa at 10 a.m. She always has fun guests and has a good time with them. Comedians on Football is tomorrow. Anthony Rodia will be here tomorrow night, followed by Two Girls, One Mic. Just great stuff, great stuff. I will apologize to Funny Tank. Was it? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, did we show Return with Funny Tank last week?
I think we did.
Oh, all right. So I don't have anything new for him this week. Okay. Because I'm totally unprepared today. I didn't grab anything. I just came in. So yeah, keep it tuned to govsradio.com. All of our great shows here. Three's Company, Let's Eat Long Island, The Misadventures of the Island Girls, Limo Talk with Graz, the Long Island Breakfast Club show that was on this morning. Comedians on Hockey returns in a few weeks, sometime in October. They're going to be back, so we're very excited about that. And, of course, there's us, the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show. We're live every day. Sally, are we allowed to talk on air what happened to Steve Belanger? He was supposed to be here today? Is that something we can't talk about? Is he coming? Is he going to come on tomorrow instead?
Yeah, I didn't. I actually asked him the other day if he wanted to come in today. And
Yeah.
it had nothing to do with you or anything. I just figured he wanted to come in this week. So I'm like, hey, Eric's not here. Maybe we could use another person. So I asked him, and he might have. He thought he might have a conflict, and he was trying to get a hold of a guy. And then he finally did get back to me because I told him, I said, you know what, I'm probably not going to be doing the show. I don't think Tony's going to wake up, but I don't know if he's going to wake up.
Oh, okay.
And then he said, I don't know if it's going to make any difference, but I can't do it.
Oh, okay. So we're going to try and get him in here this week.
Yeah, that'd be great. Whenever he wants to come. Open
of
invitation
course.
for him.
Yeah, I'm going to let's reach out to him. I'm going to reach out to Joe DeJesu, get him in here this week. And you never know who else will be here this week. You know us. We're always planning our guests last minute. So join us. We'll be back again tomorrow. Eric will be back. We're going to come through with Ken Pichel's suggestion and talk about TV, the fall season, and The Masked Singer, of course. And there's some movie trailers we can talk about. All right. Sally's telling me to wrap it up. Sorry, I was going to go another hour. Okay, goodbye.